Wander looks really comfortable. Yep, adding that extra pillow helps.
Yep. Okay.
Gizmo.
So I'm in maximum comfort mode. Inventory items X. Let's see. So we don't need the... Put away the iron sword. I guess we can... Put away the steel sword. Let's put away the hexlock shield. Let's grab some chest keys. I think we need 2 of them. I bought 10. So we are well prepared. You know what? I will grab training gauntlets. Okay. And let's try this again. Okay. 3rd time's the charm.
3rd time?
Flames are
Oh, this was only the 2nd
Well,
time.
I'd gone back in time.
Ah, yeah.
What's my strategy?
So I'm gonna put him here. Wait.
Let's make this
I am
quick.
going to warp X to oh, I can't put him there. Sup, Ash.
Oh, you teleported yourself to him?
Right next to
At the
Ash.
ready.
I could have Claude go take him out, but that seems wildly inadvisable.
Mm-hmm. Especially against archers.
Oh, I'm using the axe. Whoopsie. I meant to
I
use a bow.
fought and won.
Leave it to me.
Okay, is he good? He is good.
Got it.
Shall we?
I gotta get another one of those items that increases movement speed.
I do this for all of us. Onward.
Because there's... I gave that to the main character, which is absolutely worthwhile. Let's see, who are we gonna rescue? We'll rescue her. So she's not, like, back in the
My
pack
orders?
next time.
How often can you use rescue in a battle?
4 or 5 times, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
It's fairly often, all things considered. So X is in a good spot.
More
Over
fighting.
there. My question is, can I... Oh, I shouldn't squander Meteor on that. I should squander Meteor on this entire group, though. Is Dorothea still a dancer? She is. I should probably switch her back, though. Dance is nice, but I don't need it that bad.
I'll cut through.
Like, it's nice, but I'd rather have a really, really powerful Dorothea and switch her to dancer later.
Best of flames.
Eh.
Alright, they're full of themselves.
I don't want to fight you, Professor, but this is how it has to be. There's no turning back. Victory will be ours.
I like that just vague look of concern that the professor just wears in some of these battles. He's like, this is how it's got to be, and the professor's like, boy, you don't even know. It doesn't have to be anything.
No chance.
How they actually hit Claude.
A fitting outcome.
Oh,
Now my schemes will really pack a punch.
Pomp and circumstance.
no idea what that does.
Dun, 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 dun,
Sorry it's gotta be like this.
Dun, 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 dun. Isn't that pomp and
So much
circumstance?
for my schemes.
Dun,
Oh, shoot.
dun, 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 dun,
I screwed up.
dun,
Alright.
dun.
We're going back. Claude got Archer nuked.
Isn't that the title for the graduation song? Pomp and circumstance?
Heck if I know. I move Claude too.
At the ready.
Okay. Change of plans.
No. Oh, I completely missed that because I was singing. What happened?
Claude got shot.
Or no? So did you turn back time?
Yeah. Let's get everybody else
My
up
orders?
first. I went back because one of those archers
Leave it
ran
to
up
me.
and shot him for 35 damage. Which is a lot.
Am I getting closer?
I do this for all of us.
I could Deadeye someone, but that seems
Onward.
really unnecessary. Assist. Rescue. Thea.
Ha! Shall we?
She's good. Now,
I'll
are
cut
there
through.
less archers the other way? Because worst comes to worst, I just have Claude go hang out with. There's just a shit ton of archers on this map.
Those are all lancers. There's some
No.
cavalrymen.
Yeah, I mean,
Those
that's
are
an
those are
archer over there.
archers there.
It's really just this
There's
guy
one.
and Ash.
Mm-hmm.
Which means I'm just gonna stick Claude like here-ish. Here-ish. And he'll just be safe.
More fighting.
And do we drop the meteor on these guys again? Let's drop that meteor. That's not enough. You okay, Shell?
Yeah, it's just the microphone stand.
Oh,
always
'cause-
slips.
Just as
Rip,
I'll
rip.
get it in space.
Fifth try times the charm, or is
I
this
don't,
fourth?
but this is-
Man, I
this
don't even
should do it.
remember. I'm getting
Should have
impatient,
seen that coming.
but that's okay.
That's another one.
Note to self, probably give X ranged attacks for this. Anyway,
What's my strategy?
what do I have? I have fire. Fire!
Here is something to believe in.
I wonder how many spare options you get over the course of the game. Normally.
You want to spare me? Why? I'll do it. I'll join your side. Let me fight for you.
Well, it's interesting because you currently have people on your team that are from Fargus, right?
Yeah.
And currently
and
people
won.
from the Empire, so I'm intrigued as to why Ash was one of the ones that was kept from the initial group.
You get one spare option per path. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Pretty good, huh?
Well, luckily, I don't think there's anybody else I need to spare anyway.
Child.
Yeah, because you can't get Hubert or Dedu. And you
Let's
can't
make this
recruit
quick.
Dimitri. And much less Edelgard.
Yeah, Ash is good in though.
done.
Well, I think Ash is the only one that we can spare anyway. Because,
Is he the only one of your group that's missing?
yeah, I think so. I think he's the only student that like, bailed on me.
Then again, there are so many
Only thorns
characters.
left on this rose.
But I think he's the only one. Aside from the ones that you couldn't recruit.
Yeah. I did bring Felix along. Poor Felix. Iron bow? Do with the training? No. Gotta be iron. Whee. Shell is a full-on munch monster.
I'll be home again soon.
Let me see. Oh, that's enough. Dang. Yeah, Black
Okay,
Eagle and Blue
who's
Lions
next?
can also spare Claude, but don't get to recruit him. I'm very happy for that, because I was going to be very sad having to wreck Claude. For not no reason, but like... Let's see. Do we have... We do have... Oh, wait, no. But Night Kneeler is for... Well, we'll try this. Crit? Nope. Yes.
nice crit.
How about a curtsy? Still far from the top.
Look at you.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
What's the concoction?
What was that? Oh, it's a better healing item than a vulnerary. That's all it is. It's handy, but it's not like amazing must-have. Somebody's gonna attack Dorothea. It's an archer. Grab Nosferatu, so she doesn't just go down. And we can physic her. Perfect. Okay, should be good. Oh, right, these two. He got the chest key. Now, there is another chest over here. Question. Attack. No, there's two archers. This is stupid. I shouldn't do this.
Okay, no more munchies. It's just
It
you
won't
always
be in vain.
you
I
have
mean,
a
I just munch during cutscenes.
I'll use this power for the greater good.
I don't know when the next cutscene will be.
After
Maybe
this
after this battle.
Growing
Yep.
Ah,
I got a big bowl of cherries just waiting for me.
well, you were the one that was munching while I
Waiting
was
for
playing
that
the last
sweet
game.
dialogue.
Gibbous.
Yeah. I was just falling asleep during Gibbous.
That too.
so
You
close.
fall asleep during this game.
Grudge if you must.
At
You-
the very, very end.
Yeah,
People are
well,
waiting on me.
sometimes I just need micro naps during cutscenes.
Now my schemes will real.
Okay.
Just like that.
But micronaps during cutscenes would be detrimental to following the story, right?
Too easy.
Eh.
Also, I might need your help in opening this. I feel like a fool.
Sorry, but I must.
I just couldn't get my finger under it. Thank you.
Delicious root beer. It is mine now.
Careful, Wander. Don't spill it all over yourself.
Too late. Already did.
Oh no, how much? You didn't get it on the Yogibo, did you?
I did. I will be back. Here, Shell. Good
Wait,
luck. I
wait.
believe in you.
You got
Take the
you got
controller.
root beer on the Yogibo?
Ah.
No. I mean, it's not much, and that slipcover is washable, but still. Okay. I've never actually been at the controls of this before. Why don't you go attack this dude, Claude? Attack with the bow? Yeah, that'll kill him. Go, Claude.
Moment has arrived. You got yourself killed.
Awesome. And you reached level 41. Nice, Claude.
The weak fall, the strong live.
Except now we'll have cavalrymen. Can he move one more time or nah, he's there. So, now we have main character. Oh, chest? Oh, the chest is unopened. A bolt axe. Interesting. Wait, do we just have to end our turn there? I suppose so. Alright, who else do we have to move? There's that archer. Could be good against the archer. Now, the hand axe plus would be awesome, but you want to still use the training axe? I mean, it will clobber them to Kingdom Come. Go, Hilda!
Sorry, but it's you or me.
And let's see, who else do we have? Leonie. She could attack them with... I suppose you want to continue using the training lance? Man, these characters are overpowered, aren't they?
For Gerald.
Woohoo! What now, Wander? Did you spill again? He never
Step in
washed
that
his
one.
hands. Alright. What can Raphael... Oh, she has one more turn to move. Should I put her into harm's way or keep her here? There we go. I'll have her wait there. We don't have any more chests in this direction.
Okay.
So he could potentially fight against these guys, but they look to be heavily armed.
He can fight him. See?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a punch machine.
And he crits. Oh, look at that flurry of blows. Awesome.
And he's still using training equipment. You want me to go back to playing, or...?
I'm having fun.
Okay.
You lounge around, sir.
I will lounge. So,
Now, everyone else is
here.
quite far away. Do you
Shell,
want-
go down to Felix, because he can't get into the good stuff yet. So go up to Felix, put him on the other side of the lava field. Right there.
Wait, here?
Up.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. And then just wait.
And then
go
you-
grab Lysithea.
Oh, yeah. Lysithea or
No, Lysithea.
Flame can use a move, right?
Flame can bring somebody back to her. Lysithea can send somebody out.
Okay. Should I put her here?
No, over one.
Oh, yeah. So
There.
she's right next. to him.
And you got a warp assist.
Assist.
Warp.
Warp. Can warp him. Whoa.
Probably over on the left.
Oh, just over here.
Yeah.
That's fine. Get him into the fray. And that gives her experience.
Yep.
Now she should move in to help.
Not there.
Not there.
You
No.
do not want her in the danger zone.
Right here?
'Cause she is. Yeah.
This is a
She
good
is
spot
one-shottable.
for her. Now, can she assist someone?
Yeah, so she can heal with physic.
But no one seems to be injured.
Also, she can dance so Leonie gets another round.
That would be good. Allows her to take another turn.
Nice.
Okay, so we can select Leonie. And,
Now, I would
That'll leave her
actually put
open to
Leonie right next to
archers.
Felix for the time being.
right here.
Nope, down one.
Oh, but then she won't get the special bonus thing.
But she will get the bonus stats by being next to a male character.
Okay, but the thing is, he'll have to move anyway.
Yeah, it'll be fine. You can get the item on the next turn. You don't have to.
Now, is it if she starts her turn when next to a male character?
No,
as opposed
whenever she's next to a male character, she does more damage and takes less damage.
Ah, I see.
Okay. Bernadette it across. The other thing you're going to want to do is rescue Lysithea. So get Flame across the lava flow.
Yeah,
And then cast
And then assist.
rescue,
rescue, and I can
and
use.
Lysithea. Because she's standing in the lava.
Yep, I know how to do this. Wait, could I have chosen a better spot for her?
No. It does it automatically.
It brings it to her. They miss. Oh, they're on their way to attack Claude.
Yeah, they all want to kill Claude for some reason.
Whoa, did you see? Did Claude do a flip on his wyvern?
Yeah, probably,
We're
yeah.
all desperate,
But-
aren't we?
He does tricks.
Oh, look, he was petting it. Telling it did a good job.
Pointless.
Shut.
Just watching as all this plays out. Oh,
Now, is he going to move? Oh, boy. Okay, can I have the controller?
wait, who was that behind him? It looked like a caster, but it wasn't.
It was a healer, probably.
Ah. Oh.
No, it's wet because I washed it.
Then why is the rim brown?
So down there? That was from before. I moved it over here. Just set it on the plate anyway. And super problem solved. Question. What are the conditions? Defeat the enemy commander. Well, that sucks. How far can he move? Inconveniently far. Hey, Claude. You stand right here,
Perch him on the rock?
perch him on the rock, kill the knight.
I fought and won.
Okay, so he isn't going to make it far enough here. Oh, cool. I could actually keep his danger radius marked. Blink.
Pretty good, huh?
Poor Hilda. So, god dang slow.
I don't have time for this.
I might try and make her
No
into a
time
great
to
knight.
slow down.
I probably won't. Grab the item.
You haven't earned my pity.
Yeah, his crest really does just pop off nigh constantly.
Is that the one that does additional damage? Was it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Get her out of the lava. And anybody else? I don't actually want her to gain an EXP. Perfect. Oh.
Oh, old
Oh.
Gwendol is here, and he doesn't look to be an ally.
Oh, the hero of Daphnel is here. I'll expect more from her than the young ones.
Can we talk? Hey!
No, let's leave the pleasantries for later. First, I want you to take this. It's nothing important, but it may prove useful.
Cool. Okay, Claude. Go get that chest. Ooh, silver shield. That's kind of
Are
handy.
they gonna attack that magic user?
Nope, he can't. Means we gotta hit him elsewise and other how. Let's see. Got ideas.
You still have that horseman.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
gonna do
wow.
it. I'll be home again soon.
Heard again.
Okay, so she goes here. We want to assist, rescue.
Just imagining her having to be
Leone.
so accurate that she's able to wedge an arrow between in the visor of the guy's helmet.
Leone does not have the range. Dang. Well, I guess let's just kill the guy. Nah, I can definitely hurt something or somebody here. Dance.
And why are you holding off?
I just want to kill this guy.
Yeah.
Free EXP. Because I'd like to avoid... Well, I mean, grinding is kind of nice.
Still here.
What about the one magic user?
We're not going to be able to reach him in time.
Mm-hmm.
There's also these two guys up here.
Yeah, there are.
I don't know why the commander just started moving. I mean, not that big of a deal.
Does a whelp like you really expect to kill me? I am Gwendol, the Grey Lion, a knight by the hand of Count Rowe. Do your worst.
That we will. Miss.
Yeah, his not his resistance, his avoidance stat is kind of high.
Magic seemed especially effective against him.
Magic usually is more effective against heavily armored units because their resistance usually ends up being low.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And good old Felix.
Miss. Great.
So I have found a place to die. Young ones, I thank you.
Why die in combat
Stronger,
here and now?
faster,
I can understand
never
wanting to
enough.
die in the field of battle, but
That old man must have been struggling with the position he found himself in. It's time to gather ourselves and pull back our troops.
My thank you so much.
To think we'd get into a scrap here, of all places. We're lucky we all made it out alive.
Sorry for involving you in all of this. I can see why they call you a hero. Show up late and do nothing.
Well, that's ancient history. Anyway, long time no see, Professor. Are you still watching this boy's back?
Can you quit calling me a boy in front of everyone? I'm the leader of the Alliance now. It's not proper.
Not proper, is it? Says the leader who has neglected Alliance territory for years. If you're really the master tactician, you should go back to working quietly at whatever little desk you do your planning on.
Don't call me that either. Who even came up with that nickname?
It's a perfect title for a boy who loves crafty schemes as much as you do. You should be grateful to the professor. On your own, you'd look like a scoundrel of a leader.
Claude's usually so flippant, but even he gets overwhelmed when Judith is around.
As expected from the leader of the prestigious House Daphne, her dignity is beyond compare, even if she is no longer one of the 5 great lords.
the 5 great lords?
The 5 most influential lords of the Leicester Alliance. They hold the voting rights at the Round Table conferences. House Daphne used to be included among their ranks, but division from within has hastened their decline. Their vote has since been passed to the emerging Margrave Edmund.
Thanks for the exposition, Gloucester boy.
Boy, I will not.
Now to business. There were some unexpected interruptions, but I've brought soldiers and supplies as promised.
Thanks, Judith. I'll gladly take them off your hands.
Hold your horses, boy. You're misunderstanding. These soldiers are precious to me. I made them what they are. I'm not about to loan them out to someone.
No? Then why did you come here?
What I'm saying is that I'll be joining your army. You're going to fight the Empire with the Knights of Seiros, right? Fight for Lady Rhea? Not without me.
That's admirable and all, but we still don't know for sure if Rhea's in the...
Oh, she's there. A witness saw Lady Rhea being dragged off by the Imperial Army after the battle 5 years ago.
Are you sure your source is reliable?
One of my own saw it happen. I'm certain.
It seems we chose wisely when we decided to fight against the Empire.
But you're the leader of House Daphne. Is it okay for you to leave your territory unattended?
And what about you? Is it okay for you to leave the Regan territory unattended?
That's... I've left it in the hands of a reliable retainer and...
And I've asked that retainer to watch over Daphne territory as well.
Wait. You just up and decided to get my retainer to do that without even asking me? No respect, this one.
What retainer?
Oh, a minute. A witness saw Rhea being dragged off the battlefield by the Empire years ago, and it never got around the Alliance. It never got back to Claude or anyone, especially the Knights of Seiros.
Yep.
5 years!
Convenient. No? What retainer?
Oh, you haven't met him yet, Professor? His name is Nardell. He strikes me as a really special individual. And he's quite handsome, too.
So that's your definition of handsome?
No objections, then? Good. That settles it. House Daphne is now yours to command.
I'm sure you'd come along even if I refused. So be it. We'll be counting on you, Judith. With Judith joining our forces, we've secured some more troops and supplies, albeit not many.
I'm sorry it couldn't be more.
No, it's enough for the time being. We'll use them to secure even more troops and supplies.
You think we can do that?
The key to my plan is Count Gloucester, the leader of the pro-Empire faction in the Alliance.
You intend to sway my father to join the other side?
If Count Gloucester were to switch to the other side, that would basically unify the Alliance. Then we could utilize our full military force in the fight against the Empire.
You don't mean to ask me to persuade him, do you? That would be quite impossible.
I don't plan on it. We'll just take his concerns out of the equation. The Aramid River flows along the border between Gloucester territory and the Empire, right? Of all the bridges that cross it, the Great Bridge of Murden is the only one near Gloucester territory large enough for an army. Currently, the Imperial Army occupies it.
So, if we were to capture the bridge...
Count Gloucester would be freed from the threat of the Empire, thanks to us.
But we have to pass through Gloucester territory to reach the Great Bridge of Murden, do we not?
Yes, and if we attempted it, naturally he would try to stop us.
I am sorry, but I must ask. Surely you do not plan to engage in combat with my father?
Don't worry. I want him as a future ally. What good would it do to waste both of our forces fighting?
Are we gonna cross a different bridge, or what?
We cross through Imperial territory? I take it you have a scheme?
Who do you think you're talking to, Teach? Preparations are in the works even now.
So the Master Tactician is finally going to show us his true power. I'm looking forward to it.
I'll do my best to live up to that name by making my scheme as impressive as possible.
Part 2. Verdant Wind. Lone Moon. The Rose-Colored River.
Really? Is it red?
The Alliance army successfully rendezvous with Judith in Aelel. With the addition of House Daphnel's forces, the time has come to invade Empire territory.
Did you notice that the guy was riding the stag off again and the doe was very upset?
Yeah. And that Staghelm guy's wife was pregnant.
But it seemed like everyone was crying. And there was a wilted flower.
Preparations are complete. Now it's a game of patience. As they say, good things come to those who wait.
Care to elaborate on this plan of yours, Claude? Can we really do this without battling my father?
Pretty soon, Count Gloucester will need to gather his troops in the northern part of his territory.
Against Houses Regan and Daphnel?
You got it, Teach.
The combined forces of the Regan and Daphnel houses will threaten the northern part of the Gloucester territory. Nardell, that retainer I mentioned, is going to draw their attention.
We'll take that opportunity to make our way through Gloucester territory and launch a surprise attack on the Great Bridge of Murden.
And are you not concerned about the possibility that I may tip off my father?
The future of the Alliance rests on this battle. I'm certain you won't betray us.
I will ensure our success.
I know you will. If we can win this fight, then our next goal will be to topple Enbar, the Imperial capital. I said before that my plan was to meddle with the Empire, but I'm gonna do you one better. We are going to defeat the Empire, once and for all. But to do that, we can't afford to slip up here. Bear that in mind and prepare yourselves for the coming battle.
Sure.
Hmm?
It's St. Indec Day.
Oh, Indic Day.
Yeah! I'll sing so loud that my voice is gonna reach the sky!
I can't sing very loud.
What a pair.
Professor, I asked to be on the sidelines. Why did you put me on the battlefield? You did protect me, so I guess I can't complain. Wait a second, you're hurt. Did that happen when you were defending me?
Lady, you're a goddamn wall. I am not.
Oh, I thought so. How could you be so reckless? Perhaps you'll say that that's what friends do. They look out for each other and save each other. But if I saw you getting attacked, I wouldn't risk my neck to save you.
Wander, why didn't you say no there? If she's supposed to be the wall, then you wouldn't have gotten the...
Wound protecting her, but she said we protected her. Therefore, very clearly, we took damage because she wouldn't. Yes, you would.
No, don't overestimate me. I don't know if I've told you this, Professor. I have a very impressive big brother. I'm not just saying that. He's strong, smart, nice. He's basically perfect. Before Claude turned up, people talked about him becoming the next leader of the Alliance. Don't mention that to Lawrence, by the way. He never shuts up about that kind of thing. Anyway, my parents have high expectations for my brother, and he almost always meets them. No one expects anything of me. If something's even a little bit difficult, I find someone else to do it for me. That's what I've done my whole life.
Are you scared? Are you scared of disappointing people?
Of course. I can't stand the idea of not meeting someone's expectations. I know how people react when that happens. From watching my brother, I mean. People force their expectations on you, and then if you fail, they look so disappointed. Whenever that happens to my poor brother, he looks just devastated. So don't expect anything of me, please. That way, I can't disappoint you.
I wouldn't expect anything, but I believe in you.
You're stubborn. Okay, fine. Keep believing in me. I do want to support you and support my friends. I just don't want to let you down.
Are these support conversations? Oh, I see. Are you starting to get to be with a lot of people?
Yeah. At least from our main team.
Oh, hey, Professor.
Something going on?
Actually, I ran into that thief while I was shopping just now.
What? 5 years later?
Yep.
Maybe you don't remember. It's been quite a while. The man who stole the book from that market stall. I saw him on the street with his kid. They were both so grateful. It's a really nice feeling.
Oh, so do you think this could be in context with the time skip that
Yeah.
the guy came back and he has a child of his own and what, he's still reading that book to him?
Or he sold the book for money for medicine for her or something?
Oh, right, that too.
Yep.
Yeah, but it did seem like they were still having trouble getting by. I guess what you said to me back then was right. My actions didn't really solve the problem. I can't help everyone no matter how much I try. If I had the money or power, maybe, but I don't.
You'll get there. No need to rush.
You know, a long time ago, Leonardo said nearly the same thing to me. I think it was when I tried to look after the horses all on my own. I really messed that up. He said, "You're not quite ready for this yet, but there's no need to rush." I know I can't help very many people right now, but I think doing what I can for those I see in front of me is still worthwhile. I have to believe that, at least.
That's a fine way of looking at it.
Thanks. That's reassuring to hear. What about you, Professor? Has anything been troubling you lately? I'd be happy to help, as long as it's not looking after horses. You might not want to trust me with that.
You know what's interesting?
Hmm?
You know how they're all blushing so often?
Yeah?
I can't recall the last time I've blushed.
You get blushy when you drink, but that's not the same.
And I very, very rarely ever do that. But even then, that's not the same as a blush due to emotion.
Yeah, no.
If you know what I mean.
I don't even know what the feeling of blushing would be. Like, I don't even have a concept of how blushing works.
Well, what it is your blood vessels fill up with blood. It's like...
Yeah.
I don't know why it happens specifically in your cheeks, as opposed to... for your ears. I know that when people are embarrassed, yeah, you can also get it in your ears as well. And then your cheeks.
I don't know.
It really has to be some kind of nerve response, but I don't know what evolutionary purpose it serves. Is it... Because usually it would be an effort to pull yourself off. I'm trying to think of it from like a biological standpoint, and I'm not quite grasping it. But I think it has to be tied with a form of embarrassment.
Yeah. I guess part of it is I only ever get embarrassed for other people and never for myself.
And the thing is, when I get embarrassed for other people, this usually happens when we're watching movies and the main character is bumbling around and making a fool of themselves. And I find that I sweat more often when nervous or concerned about someone else.
Yeah.
But a face? I don't know. Also, in some people, it's more obvious when they're blushing as well.
Nothing in particular has been bothering me. No.
Hey, don't be that way. There's gotta be something. It doesn't have to be serious. I genuinely enjoy helping people. It's a great feeling making someone smile. So if there's anything I can do for you, I want to do it, because I care about you.
That's really kind.
You think so? It's just what anyone would do, really. So what'll it be? How can I help?
Wanna help me cook?
Cooking!
Of course! I'd be glad to cook with you.
We can cook all the fish. The fish.
Speaking of fish, we might have fish coming soon. Hey, thank you, Thozak, for the 15 bits. How goes Fire Emblem? Comfy.
Well, now Wander is in the Yogibo.
I'm in the beanbag chair. It's comfortable. Okay, so I gotta check. Fistfuls of fish. So we gotta do a thing.
What's the thing?
Fish. Oh, no side quests this time around.
You ran through the door? Wow. Oh yeah, did you ever plant anything that would produce chickpeas or turnips?
No, we have to do that this time around. So, one of those is going to be ground vegetables.
Right. Or the root vegetables.
Yeah, so we'll try that. And then we will fish.
Right.
And we will fish, and then we will fish. We would like to do some gardening. Yervis.
Okay, now let's carefully look at these.
Oh god, I have no money.
So it'll be root vegetables.
Root vegetable seeds. Might as well plant all 5.
Oh, wait, but the chickpeas are gonna be like legumes.
No.
We'll see when it shows up. We'll do some exploration phases here. Anyway, I gotta go fish for some money and some other stuff. Let's actually go get money first, too. Okay, so we wanna...
You need to...
We should probably do these as well before we go too far.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And then you'll have to turn...
I guess it's
What's wrong
really
with the
just...
volume? I thought it was the voice volume you need to get rid of if you're going to buy anything from the merchants.
Well, I don't have any money. Let's see. I mean, I kind of don't. I don't know. We definitely got some more bullion somewhere.
We can probably sell weapons.
I swear we got some bullion. Did we not? Oh boy. Let's see. Okay, so I guess we should do the support conversations first. What?
Sorry, had root beer. Yeah, I was going to tell you to put the voice volume back on.
Professor?
I could have waited like 5 seconds to realize that's what I was doing.
Thanks so much.
Oh.
You're a
Wait, you already had them?
Apparently.
How?
It looks like people are slowly starting to come back to the town. I guess they feel safe now that you and the Knights of Seiros have returned. Peddlers have become more common too, so there'll be food and supplies available. After being run down for all those years, it's really becoming livable again. Excuse me, could you do me a favor?
Okay. We've just got a new combat quest. Okay, so we're gonna go to the dining hall. So, we are going to feed...
Ooh. Salty
Ashes
whitefish
fed.
saute. Whitefish is coated in spices and sauteed with dried tomatoes to bring out addictive, salty, sweet flavor. Ooh, that reminds me of Cajun catfish.
The flavor is nostalgic to me for some reason. I'd like some more.
I appreciate any good meal, but nothing beats enjoying my favorite food.
I still think Ingrid's, like, aged-up version is just such a far cry from her original version.
I anticipated that she'd become a lady knight,
Yeah.
but she looks more reserved.
Let's see, it's an advanced bow tournament.
Bow. I mean, that would be good for... Would Bernadetta be able to do it?
The problem is... It's not about... It's not about the bow skill. It's about how high their defense and strength is.
Oh no, but you're not gonna have Hilda do it, are you? Aw.
This could be a problem.
She's gonna miss.
We'll see. I saved beforehand just in case. Her accuracy is bad. But their damage is meaningless.
Sorry, but it's your...
Bow knight.
There's just something amazing about this. Oh boy.
It also helps that she has almost...
She doesn't need to aim.
HP.
She just needs to hit them with the bow. There we go.
Wears me out.
Okay, those semifinals. Yeah, my main worry is just accuracy. We only get so many shots before we, Okay.
This is good.
Got him.
Can't afford to slack.
Sorry. I don't know. I had to try it. And it worked. We'll try somebody a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah.
Not Ignatz. Because well, actually, in retrospect, Bernadetta might not be a terrible choice. Could be a problem.
Oh, she might not have enough HP to last, but you do have the healing items.
Yeah.
Oh, 1 HP? Come on. Yeah, and she's not... She's not dodging them.
No, her avoidance stat is not great. Okay.
Wait, she's not gonna Oh. Oh, that's way
Inch of
too
her
close.
life left.
Held on by the skin of her teeth. Oh, gosh. Let's... Are you gonna use the healing item?
Of course. Yeah, we're faster than these guys.
Still here.
This is just as tense as, let's see, that was the semifinals.
This isn't good.
It's fine, we're fine. There we go.
You're right about... Oh,
wait,
no.
hold on.
Oh, she had a double
Her
shot.
crest went off. Good.
The crest went off. Thank goodness. It's really... It's unfortunate that the characters that are the most ill-equipped for a particular weapon type are still preferable in comparison to one that is mastered.
Petra might be good at this.
Are you just gonna continue the tournaments?
Yep. She's fast. Her damage is bad, though.
Yeah.
Maybe Felix would have been the right idea. Because she's fast, but she doesn't do as much damage as Bernadetta does.
Witness frigid pride.
Because she has better avoidance stats, but even then, she's up against archers, which makes this harder. Her defense is a bit better.
You'll probably need to use an HP. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is bad.
I think he's just gonna do more damage unless she gets more strikes, and she's gonna go down.
Yep. Okay, let's go back. Yeah, so Petra has better avoidance stats, but archers, you really just want to out-tank or out-damage them. And yeah, I like Petra, but her strength stat actually is not very high in my playthrough. Like, I think her strength stat is fairly low. Now, the easiest and hilarious best option is we just blood dope Bernadetta into becoming an unholy monstrosity.
Hmm? What do you mean?
Doping items. Bernadetta, how do you feel about becoming monstrous? We've already done this once, but we could do it some more. Okay, so...
Oh, wait. Are these the consumables?
Yeah, these are the stat items.
Well, first off...
Oh, we don't actually have that many useful things.
Well, right,
I think I used them all already.
Who do you want your main cast of characters to be?
I mean, I was just putting Bernadetta on there because she's really adorable. Okay, last option. Because we know Bernadetta can do this fairly reliably. Felix, good luck.
Whoa.
Well,
took that person out in one hit.
I got the answer. It's just Felix.
How?
He's just got such a high strength stat. He just one-shots most things.
Well then, I mean, I suppose he's able to pull back a sturdier bow, which results in more force, but...
I mean, he's gonna take some damage here. But... he's not meant for this. Oh, I guess he does actually have a smidge of bow skill.
Too easy.
Hi. dodged it, and oh no, he
That's fine.
activated his crest, but then he dodged too.
Well, this is...
Miss.
this
Ah,
is
got it.
inconvenient. So now we've seen all three sides of this tournament. And let me tell you, it's stupid no matter how you boil it down. I guess we got one more option, but this is like the very bad idea.
Wait, what would you use?
Good luck,
Lysa
Claude.
here or some? Oh no.
I think he's still weak to bows.
Wait, but he's on a wyvern. No.
Sorry, but I must.
Yep. We'll see how this goes.
I fought and won.
I mean, he started off as the team archer, but oh, 1 HP.
We're all desperate.
That was a miss.
Claude's just got scheme skills and by and far some of the best archery of this group. Holy crap, he cannot take 2 arrows though. Probably should have just class changed him before I did this.
Sorry, but I must.
You're going to use the HP.
Yep. Yeah, he'll be fine. He's got a 100% chance to hit. I bet if we class changed him to sniper, he'd be good. We could do it, actually.
Sorry, but I must.
Might not even be a bad idea, all things considered.
Now, are you doing the tournament specifically to gain cash?
Professor EXP.
But you're
that's
also given
Archer.
a cash reward.
Oh, I don't have anything better. I should really... Oh, you can't do any certifications while we're here. No, I'm doing this for Professor EXP. The cash is a nice bonus. But no, we're doing this for Professor EXP. Who else do we have that'd be hilarious and bad here? I mean, Shamir might not be terrible.
But she has an A+ in this. Much less HP, though.
Nope.
And a much lower level.
Nope, she's really slow. Yeah, Archer would be fine for the sake of the tournament, though, since he's not leveling anything up. No, that's a good point. Yeah, okay, so we can see how Raphael goes. The thing is, Raphael is slow and his accuracy isn't that amazing, I don't think. We'd be better off just reclassing Claude as an archer. Okay, but yeah, so the reason why I'm doing this is very specifically because, no, I guess that's not really much of a stat differential. Let's see, so if we do Brigand, we lose some dex. I guess Brigand's probably my better option here.
Gonna nibble him.
Yep, no, this is probably good snack time, all things considered. Okay, and now they barely even hurt Claude.
You got yourself killed.
Let's see. But yeah, so I want to get as much Professor EXP as we possibly can get before I start fishing. Because this is the Fistfuls of Fish Day, and I want to get up to A+ Professordom. But honestly, like, I'm not like necessarily in need of doing this. The other thing I can also do is just say, explore every single week this month, and get this too, because I think we're out of paralogs actually. No, we probably have more paralogs, don't we? Still, nothing beats watching Hilda fling around that big old shield as she wields the bow. It was pretty magic. Like, I'm pretty
That was
happy
hilarious.
with how...
She still had it strapped to her arm, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. Like, it made... Well, no, it made plenty of sense. It just looked stupid. Okay. Let's keep doing this. the small
You got
amount of
yourself
micromanagement required for this game. It's not too much. I never thought to do archery with a wall.
fought and won.
Now I kind of want to. Yeah, so my Hilda's almost at S-axe. I could actually just hand her a bow. Oh, no, but I'd want to run her down the, is it sniper? Is it sniper or archery that gives you the counterattack with a bow even in melee range? Because if I had that skill...
I fought and won.
It'd work really well. Oh, it's just bow skill?
Outcome.
Oh. Well, that's easy enough. Oh, whoops. Use the heal too early, but that's fine. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if
We're
you're
all
archer or
desperate,
sniper.
aren't we?
I mean, technically you could do anything, but yeah, train Hilda in bows? I very well might. Yay, prize money. Okay, 2 more times. We can do this. I mean, it's a little late now,
We're all
but
desperate,
still,
aren't we?
would be really amusing to just have, like, Bo Hilda for much of the rest of the game. Because her
Sorry,
strength stats
but I must.
obscene. It would
You
work.
got yourself killed.
Could we do that? We could probably do that. But you know what? I've got extra heals. And there's no penalty for it,
fitting
so, like,
outcome.
why not?
You know, that's one thing I've noticed. They're afraid of defined cheekbones.
Except for on Hubert.
You got yourself killed.
Pretty sure Hubert had defined cheekbones. Which makes him look really creepy.
Well, right. Like, there's a way to make it so that you can make someone look like they have structure to their face, and then there's another way where it just appears like they're gaunt and
Sorry, but I must.
kind of sunken in.
Sorry, but I must.
But I was just looking at the shading on the characters, and if I had
Sorry,
painted a
but I
picture of
must.
Claude, I would have had at least a little bit more shadow going down the side of his cheek. But instead it's just like a little sliver by where his sideburns are.
I fought and won.
Okay. I'm getting toasty. So I think that's all of my professor time, yeah? Because I don't need any more training. Nope. Okay. So there's that. We picked up the quest. There's nobody that I care to talk to, really. I mean, there are, but wait. One...
Well, you should probably talk with Lorenz, actually, just to see what his perceptions
Sure,
are.
we can talk to Ash,
deceiving.
Lorenz, and Claude.
Mhm.
That's not bad. Because, like,
Professor.
it was really strange re-recruiting Ash there. Because he, like, shows back up, we re-recruit him, and then nobody mentions it. It does bother me, like, a number of the side... the
Yeah,
number
why
of the
didn't
side...
he return to the monastery and keep the promise of the class unlike everyone else?
Yeah, because
Even
everyone
people
else
from-
came back except for him.
Yeah,
And I'm
even
sure
other
it's
people
like
from
a
Vargas.
story reason for maybe one of the other factions. But, like, I really feel like it should have been talked about more. Like, I feel like the characters that aren't in your house aren't enough of characters in these runs. Because, like, they're just here and they have, like, no feedback. Like, we have next to no information from any of the Black Lion... Or
But would you
Black Eagles
rather-
or the Blue Lions.
Would you rather have had it that everyone from your faction makes it, but if you recruited people from the other ones, you meet them along the way?
That almost might have been more preferable. You know, sometimes you just, like, complete a mission, and then after that they join you, and there's a little cutscene where they show up, and they're like, oh god, Edelgard has lost her mind, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because then they could tell you what they've been doing the last 5 years within their own kingdoms.
It's thanks to you that I'm here now. I owe you, Professor. You saved my life. I swear I'll do all I can to repay that debt.
What?
Yep.
There's nothing about why he rejoined Fargus and what he's been doing?
So Lorenz is somewhere around here. Yeah, it's apparently a lot more moving when you don't recruit people. Yeah, I've heard that. I decided to pop in to see what another streamer was doing. I think it was COH Carnage, and I think I caught this scene after Raphael died, and it was actually like a full cutscene, but I could be wrong.
Wait, you mean killing the other people?
Yeah, because he was doing a Kingdom playthrough. And I'm pretty sure I got to see Raphael's sister freaking out.
Aww.
And then I clicked away.
Aww.
I would like to believe that I've always made my own decisions. Even so, I cannot deny that some small part of me has always been aware of my father's wishes. Now here I am, concealing our plan, Claude's plan, from his sight.
You having second thoughts?
No. The strategy is sound, and I've consented to it. In this fight, I will finally stand upon my own 2 feet, independent of my father's influence.
Okay, so we're looking for Clade.
What are we discussing with Flame?
No, Claude.
Oh, Claude? You said
If
Flame.
our plan
I said
succeeds,
Clade.
we'll arrive at the Great Bridge of Murden unscathed. The important part is what happens next. We're evenly matched in terms of military power, more or less. So if we can just launch a surprise attack...
We have the advantage.
I wouldn't be so sure. That bridge is almost like a fortress. The defense there is rock solid. But that's why you're here, Teach. No matter the odds, you're the wild card we need to win.
Yeah, I don't think... If I play this again, I don't know if I'm going to have the heart to not just recruit everybody over and over again. Even if it's a waste of time.
I mean, there are some characters that you've developed more of an attachment to than others. That's for sure.
What the heck is... What's-her-face?
Now, if you never recruited the teachers, which I suppose would have been difficult, would they have just gone back to the Empire, or would they have always helped the Knights of Seiros?
I'm not sure, actually. Like, I don't know what would happen if you didn't recruit Alois, or Shamir, or Catherine.
Hey there.
But as far as I knew, Shamir and Catherine were loyal to Seiros. They weren't loyal to...
But, no, that's Petra.
any of the other factions.
Oh, wait, no. Judith is here in the Officers Academy. Henneman goes to the Empire. Don't know about Manuela. Well, she is also a member of the Empire, because she was in a singing troupe there.
At the same time, she was a commoner and also crestless, so...
Yeah.
I don't know where he recruited that man, but Claude's got an eye for great talent. I'm talking about his retainer, Nardell. I've only spoken with him briefly, but he seems to have a fair amount of both brains and brawn, with the skills to match. But there's something about him I can't quite place. Like I've somehow heard of him before.
My assumption is Nardell is...
Nardell is his father!
Or Nardell is a Elmiran. Like an Elmiran hero.
And his father!
Ah. Okay, so anyway. Let me save. It's time to do kind of ridiculous things. Right, I was gonna turn off the voice volume, but mainly sound effects. Because I really don't need to... Oh, maybe I do. I don't know. Anyway, Fistfuls of Fish.
The glimmering fish shadow.
So, Shelly, you got story time? Because I'm going to be kind of focused for at least a little while here.
Story time.
Oh, good lord.
Story time about fish?
Fish? Or not fish?
I've already told so many fish stories. Quite frankly, a number of the fish stories are a little morbid.
Well, this is going to go a hell of a lot faster than I thought it was going to. So effectively, to describe what's going on here, Shell, every time I catch a fish here, I catch like 4 or 5 fish or something like that.
I'm just imagining them dangling off the end of the line. Unless it's one of those, have you ever seen those fish hooks where it's really just a line of several?
Yeah.
Hanging off of one line? I'm just imagining that that's the technique you're using. But I don't understand how that would work, because do you intend to catch only one at a time, or do you hook several but wait until you think there's enough to pull out? I don't know. That doesn't sound right.
I mean, I'm assuming the fish are just gladly daisy-chaining themselves for me. And so you get one fish and it's just like got 3 more hanging off of its tail. Or like, it's just a line.
There have been people that have used fish as bait, then gotten a fish to clamp onto that fish for bait, and then gotten an even larger fish to clamp onto the smaller fish that clamped onto the small bait fish. You know what I mean? I believe that's happened before.
I'm missing my timing. I might actually need that sound effect. Oh, damn it. Because, yeah. Oh, this is a small one. Oopsie. Eh.
It was always amusing when fish liked the more lively bait.
Let's see, have Hilda fish with X. I don't think you can get anybody to fish with you.
Unless fishing is the date. But at which point Flane would like to fish.
Yeah, I don't think you can fish with students. I don't think that's a thing. It would be kind of fun if you could just, like, have a fishing party with your students. Okay, I might have to fiddle with the sound effects.
I feel so bad for flounders.
Why?
You know, they're the fish that flop onto one side and they have an eyeball move over to the other.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of horrifying.
Where they have 2 eyes on the same side of their body. Ugh.
Yeah. Sorry, whenever I hear flounder, I just think of flounder as in Little Mermaid flounder.
Oh, right. But that's not a true depiction of what a flounder would look like.
Yeah, but like... Because that's a...
He was definitely something more tropical in appearance.
Yeah.
Flounder, as far as I've seen, are just brown. Sandy colored to blend in with the sand.
Okay. Probably wait for the red ones. There we go. Yeah, much easier with the sound effect. So does the combo do anything when you're fishing? You get more fish, and you get more EXP. Come on. Or goldfish. I don't mind goldfish right now. There we go. Because, yeah, each one of these is worth like 100.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a lot.
I remember a long time ago, probably for one of my classes in elementary school. You know how classes would have a class pet?
Yeah.
I remember the first class pet we had ever had was, I believe it was in 2nd grade. It was a red and blue betta fish in a small tank, and everyone had assignments of chores to do around the room, and everyone always enjoyed it when it was their turn to feed Reddy Bluey.
That was the name?
Yes. Reddy Bluey. Short, kind of a cutesy version of Redfish Bluefish.
That's fair.
I know it. No, I know it's a silly name. But what were other ones? I think in 3rd grade, crayfish were the class pet. And they were in this big tub. Except too often the crayfish were pulling limbs off of each other and killing one another. So they weren't the best class pets.
Yeah. I don't think we ever really had class pets. I know the... Oh, hi.
And I still wonder why crayfish are called crayfish.
Oh! That was worth it.
Because they clearly resemble shrimp or lobsters. They're crustaceans. And there are other names for them too. Crawdads and mud something or others? I forget. I just remember that Elvis Presley movie where they have the starting song, raw fish, see I've got 'em, see the signs, stripped and clean before your eyes. That's about crawfish. I think the movie took place in New Orleans. Maybe it was King Creole. That was an old one.
Well.
Fódandies?
Yeah. Fódlandies. They're the ones that are worth 2,000 apiece.
So you never had any other class pets?
No, I think I had a number of teachers with fishes. But that was... Or not fishes. A number of teachers with pets that they bring in occasionally, but that was about it.
I thought you said you had to babysit a hamster or a guinea pig or something at one point.
Guinea pig. I never... So, neighbors across the street moved away.
Mm-hmm.
And, let's see. They'd moved away and we ended up with their guinea pig as a result. That's slightly different, though.
Because I remember that some class pets would go home with kids for just like the summer, well, not the summer break, but
I very strongly remember like the stories of like class pet going back and then somebody either killing it or like totally neglecting it. But I don't remember if that was me or somebody just told me that story. Because it's been so long.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember other class pets. Well, in high school there were a number of them. And it always seemed to be with the biology teachers. Now that I think about it.
It makes sense.
Math teachers. Yeah, no one else had any class pets except for the biology teachers. And
we didn't really have a separate biology teacher until like 4th, 5th grade.
Right, this was high school.
Oh. Oh, no. There were most definitely no class pets in high school.
Oh. High school had the most class pets.
For you. Huh.
Yeah. So...
My school is built like a prison and kind of treated prisonish too.
Now, middle school, as far as I knew, was devoid of class pets. But in high school, it was there for my one biology class in 10th grade. There were actually a number. In one tank, you had Murphy. He was a massive bearded dragon, and he was always so fun. We didn't really have assigned seats. We chose our seats, so I always had my seat next to Murphy. He was just so amusing. He was very fat, though. He had really big sides. And he would do this thing where he would get stuck in his water bowl and then just stay there. And people would have to help lift him out. Because then he couldn't move. But when he did catch crickets, it was amusing to watch him. But for the most part, he was content with just eating lettuce and I forget what other vegetation they put in there for him to eat. But he always had that snooty appearance, as most reptiles do, where they have their nose tossed high into the air and they glower at you with beady little eyes. Ooh. Unfortunately, he died midway through the year, and it was interesting. My teacher put me aside before I even entered the classroom, and she said, "Now there's something I have to tell you, and Murphy passed away." I was all upset, but he had died of kidney failure. And they know this because the teacher that owned him dissected him after he died. So, but supposedly he had been saved by drug lords. So he lived a far longer life than he would have had prior.
Well, this is going to solve my money problems, at least for a chapter or two.
And then in that same classroom, there was also a tank that had... Oh, I forget what kind of lizard he was, but he was so cute. We ended up calling him Drago. But he had these chameleon-like eyes, but he wasn't a chameleon. He was most definitely a very sprightly lizard that would climb all through the twigs and branches. And I swear it was as though he could change colors depending on his mood, but he, as I said before, was not a chameleon. There were just certain times where he looked more green, and other times where it seemed as though his colors had dissipated a bit. But he was very interesting. And then there was, Rosie. Rosie was the red-bellied salamander that lived in the same tank as he did. And she was adorable. I love salamanders. She would just swim about, and she especially liked to come to the side of the tank and just watch people, and she also had very minuscule eyes. You could barely see them. But she was a lot of fun. The experience that I liked most, though, was in the other classroom, there were two turtles. It was Bob and Donatello. Donatello, obviously, named after the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. But Donatello was a very shy red-eared turtle. And then Bob was a soft-shelled turtle. You know how we discussed soft-shelled turtles before?
Mm-hmm.
Soft-shelled turtles, it's almost as though their flesh is all over what would be their shell. And while they still might possess a kind of shell, it's not very... It doesn't feel like keratin. It doesn't feel like a hard nail or something. It's just... It's as though they have a bone structure and maybe some cartilage that then is encased by additional flesh. So probably why they're called soft shells. They tend to have longer tails and really long necks with these long snouts. I suppose everything about them is much longer than a normal turtle. But I think the long snouts are so that they can use them as snorkels in a way while they swim in the water. And they definitely have greater amounts of webbing on their hands and feet. Well, claws and feet, but he was really cute. He did this thing where he would come up to the side of the tank and he would just paddle into it, as though doing so would get him through the glass. He was funny. But in that class, we had the end of the year, because it was AP biology, we had the end of the year chicken project where we were each given a chick and we would raise the chick and teach them how to go through an obstacle course of our own making. And I remember the chick selection process day. There was just a whole box full of little chicks, and they were so cute, and they were babies. I think they were only a couple days old. They were adorable. And I was looking through them, and I wanted to find a chick that seemed attentive, but wasn't too boisterous. Because there were the ones that looked like they were half asleep. And then there were the ones that were clamoring over each other and cheeping loudly. So I found a chick that had a noticeable stripe on top of his head. And he seemed to be alert and looking about, but he wasn't trampling anyone and cheeping, and he wasn't asleep. So I decided to pick him up, and he was my chick. And I named him Chocobo, because he looked like a chocobo. And so for the last couple weeks of school, everyone in class had bonding time with their chicks. And what it would just do is comprise of is you would hold your chick on your desk and pet them and feed them and such. And I was always careful. I would let my chick go to the bathroom on the desk and wipe it up before I put them in my hands. So many of my classmates end up getting chick poo in their hands because they held their chicks before they had gone to the bathroom. So, any case, we would hold the chicks, and the chicks would fall asleep in your hands. They were so cute and they were so soft. Unfortunately, a number of other classmates had fatalities. Those were the chicks that had passed on because they had an illness prior, and you can't really tell, so they had replacement chicks, but I did feel bad for them. My chick, however, was very happy and healthy. So we chose another classmate in class to share a bucket. So the chicks would share a bucket with another chickmate. And so a friend of mine and I shared a bucket for our chicks, and we would give them food and water and clean out their bedding every day. And at first I was worried because her chick seemed a little bit like a bully to my chick, but my chick eventually asserted himself, and he became top chick after a while. I was concerned for sometimes other chicks weren't getting along quite as well, but in the end, the majority of them seemed to get along. But for the most part, when we brought them out, we were starting to train them associating mealworms and such with, they absolutely loved mealworms. They had their normal food, but as soon as you introduced them to mealworms, it was all they ever thought about. And we were using the mealworms as the main incentive for our obstacle courses. And initially what we had to do is we got these vials. And we had to teach our chicks to knock over the vials in order to get the mealworms. And it was funny because we just spent a class or two doing that, and you could just hear the tinking of all the vials being knocked over as the chicks were trying to get at the mealworms. And they would gobble them right up, even though the mealworms were alive and everything. Probably made them tasty. And then what we would do is we would put sleeves on the vials so as to hide the mealworms, and then animals, many of them don't have a sense of object permanence, or in this case it was just association. They had to believe that there would be a mealworm underneath the vial even though they couldn't see it. But we would still reward them with the mealworms. The mealworms would be under the vials, so then they'd knock them over. I think for some of the obstacle courses, and this was a clever idea, some of my classmates had actually had different colored sleeves to put on the vials, and they would teach the chick that only one color would grant them a mealworm. So that was pretty impressive, but we had to figure out an obstacle course to put our chicks through. And my obstacle course was, and they had to be simple things for them to do. Mine was to go up a ramp, jump off. It was probably only about, I would say, 4 inches tall or so. Jump off the platform, and this was something that was impressive. Go under a curtain. I had made a little Tinker Toy curtain with a piece of fabric, and a lot of animals don't like to go through things like that, it's... first off, you can't see what's beyond it. And then also just the act of pushing something up and over you so that you can get through. It took me a while to teach him to get through it. But at first, the chicks didn't even want to go up the ramps. And I'd put the vial with the mealworm at the top of the ramp on the box. And it was so sad. Chocobo would just look at me and he'd go, cheep, cheep. Like, what am I supposed to do? Cheep. I know I want that mealworm, but I'm not going to go for it. I've never been up this ramp before. And I had put rungs on the ramp and everything, so it was a flat board that then had little notches so that he could clamber up with his little legs. And what I would do is I'd put him up part way so that he could more easily see the vial and inch him up a little bit more until he finally learned that, oh, if I run up the ramp, I'll get my mealworm at the top. Then I had to teach him how to jump down. And I'd put the vial at the bottom. And it's interesting because at first they try to go around and just get to the mealworm, but no, you have to go up the ramp and then you jump down to it. So then he'd go up to the top of the ramp and then he'd look down at the vial, but he'd go, cheep, cheep. Well, I don't want to jump. I don't want to jump down there. And what I would do is I'd pick him up and I'd put him back on the ground. And then I'd put him back up on top of the ramp. And eventually he just started going up the ramp on his own. And it took him a bit, but he would look down and then he'd spring himself off and land there and then he'd get his vial. So cute. It's funny though, because the more you did the routine with them, they'd just become so enthusiastic. They'd start rushing up and trying to complete it as swiftly as possible, even though you hadn't even gotten the mealworm out, because they knew that over time you'd been training them to go through the course. Let's see. So then there was the curtain. And the curtain, he didn't even know what to do with it. He was just put in front of it. I tried to demonstrate that the mealworm was on the other side, but he would try to go around as opposed to go under and through the fabric. So what I started doing was I put the vial with the fabric on top of it so that when he knocked over the vial, the fabric would come down on top and he'd push himself out. And eventually he'd start pushing through the fabric on his own and get to the vial on the other side. So that was impressive. And then I had a little jump for him. It was like a little round piece of foam. And then he'd knock over the vial at the end. Yay! Unfortunately, I didn't get to see everyone else's. I almost wish that we had a presentation. But what the teacher ended up doing was going to each of our desks individually for the final grading. When we believed our chicks were ready to perform the entire obstacle course on their own, without stopping or needing prompts, then he would watch. And yeah. And Chocobo did glowingly. He went through the obstacle course without a hitch in record time. And then, because I was finished with the project, we were pretty much given the last week of school for AP Biology after our tests and everything to just hang out with our chicks before they went back to the farm. And so how this ties back with the class pets, with the turtles, is that final week I would pick up Chocobo and I'd take him around the room. And I figured maybe I'll see what his reaction is to the turtles. You know, see if he can view beyond the glass and interact with them in some way. So I brought him over to the turtle tank and set him at about eye level with the turtles. And of course, Bob was doing his paddle, 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 paddle against the side of the glass. And Chocobo just started going, cheep, 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 cheep. Oh no, what is that thing? What's that monster? And I chastised Bob for scaring him. And I asked my friends, hey, You guys have your chicks with you. Why don't you see how they react to Bob in the turtle tank? So my friends, one by one, started bringing their chicks over to the turtle tank. And all of them, it was just a chorus of tweeting. They did not like the turtles.
Pure chick-shitting terror.
Well, fortunately, none of them pooped in our hands, but it was funny. And then other members of the class started bringing them up, and we posited this observation to our teacher, saying, "Hey, the chicks really dislike the presence of Bob the Turtle." If you think about it, they only have ever interacted with other chicks and then with humans.
Yep, so suddenly throw a sea monster in the mix and they're all losing their minds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the interesting thing was, by that point, our chicks were starting to get in their rebellious adolescent phase. They were starting to get more feathers in rather than their little feather fuzz. And many of them were starting to take on a darker hue. I believe eventually they would all be brown chickens, probably. Then again, they were too young to gender. So I wonder how many of them would become roosters and how many of them would become hens, I should say.
I wonder what the standard distribution is for chickens.
I don't know. I know that among some animal species, there's... for instance, human ratios tend to be... what is it? 1 or 2% more in favor of women by population?
Yeah.
But it's still, for the most part, 50-50. But animals, though, it really depends. Some species, it's determined by the temperature at which the eggs are laid. Well, in which, how they're stored or incubated. Others, it's dependent on what they perceive to be necessary for the next breeding season. Some animals are capable of changing their gender for that purpose. There are particular, in insects and such, there are far more female ants, but they're not viable female ants. Only the queens are, and males are only drones and such, so not much of the population is dedicated to them, and they die off after breeding, so I don't know. I don't know what the distribution between male and female is amongst chickens. And I'd be curious to know what Chocobo actually was. I always refer to Chocobo as a him, but I don't know if being a rooster would have been in his best interest. It really... because I don't know where they were going back to, if they were going back to a poultry farm or if they were going to an egg farm. Because either way, the male chickens, the roosters that is, would probably have been killed off unless they ended up being the main rooster or the breeding stock. And females, at least if they were egg layers, they'd be allowed to live for some time while they laid eggs, but... oh, I feel really bad for Chocobo. I don't know what happened to him or her. But at the end, everyone had to bid their chickens farewell, and we got them ready in the crate that was going to go back to the farm, and it was so sad, saying our last farewells and holding them and petting them, and then finally placing them back in the box, and they would just get lost in the sea of other chickens. I'm crying now. Wander, did you ever have good interactions with chickens growing up? Because I know that your uncle had the very brutish ones. Well, one of them was Brutus, the evil rooster, and I actually witnessed his deeds firsthand, but...
Dude was an asshole.
Well, they ate Brutus later anyway.
Yeah, like couple days later.
Really?
Yeah. No, it was like just after we left.
That's because Brutus attacked your uncle and he already had a far more docile rooster.
So, to tell the story of Brutus the rooster, my uncle didn't really have a farm, but...
He had a couple hens.
Yeah, he had a couple of
eggs.
fields that other people, I think, would specifically come in and manage. He just rented the land out. And he would keep animals, livestock mainly, as kind of a hobby / like a bonus. So for a while he was trying to do emus or ostriches. I think it was ostriches. For like burgers and egg laying and whatnot.
Really?
Yeah, we only ever got to see them from far away. I don't know if I was like scared or
If you brought something shiny with you, they'd come running at you in an instant. When I had to take care of emus at Lollipop, they would specifically go for people's watches and bracelets.
Huh.
But go on.
But so... So one year, Shell was with us when we visited. Right? Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, I was there to see
Were you
Brutus.
there with the chicken being stuck in the feeder as well?
No. That was when you were a child.
That was the previous time.
Really? I thought that was from your childhood that occurred.
I wasn't I was definitely in like high school plus.
Oh, someone actually has the age structure for chickens?
No, those are probably humans.
Oh.
Anyway. So my uncle, after getting bored of ostriches because I think they were a giant pain in the ass and not really worth it, at least for like the size of his operation, he switched over to chickens as kind of like a hobby. Could sell the eggs. I think he'd breed them out. I think he'd also like often get free chickens from his neighbors who'd end up with like too many or like temperamental hens, and he'd just take them in. But so he ended up with a gaggle of hens.
I thought a gaggle was for geese.
Yeah, probably. But he ended up with like like 15 or so hens or so, and 2 roosters. An alpha.
I remember only seeing 3 or 4 hens when we went.
He had a number. Many of them were like kind of out back. I'm pretty sure. He also, I think, had like a bunch of young ones, but he kept them all kind of caged away, too, because the roosters were downright mean. Specifically Brutus. I don't remember the name of the other one.
I don't even know if they had a name.
No, they had another one. They had 2 roosters.
I don't know the name of the other one. I don't even know if
it
they
had
had
a name, but
was he Sunny or something?
Maybe. It was a much less like intimidating name for
Brutus.
A significantly less intimidating rooster. But so Brutus was an ugly rooster. Like, you know, roosters can have like the really, really like pretty feathers and
well, didn't he have an absurdly long neck and a tiny head?
Yeah.
And big fluff.
He was like a fat, fluffy sucker with a long neck and the smallest head I've ever seen on a chicken. Like, its head was, like, tiny. It's like the rest of him grew, but not the head out of chick phase. It was strange. And he had the temperament to match, which is to say, we get there, and my aunt doesn't want to go outside because just the other day, Brutus had snuck up on her and mauled the heck out of the backs of her legs. And she was...
Because he probably had his spurs, or at least his claws.
Maybe his claws, definitely his beak. But, you know, she was not a fan of Brutus, and Michael's like... Kind of like, yeah, we should probably just, like, kill him and eat him or something like that. And so he's showing us around, and out rushes Brutus from wherever he's been hanging out. And my uncle turns, looks at the oncoming rooster, pulls his leg back, and then boots it, beak over tail feathers.
As it was in mid-attack. It was coming in.
It was like picturesque moment. But effectively, yeah, it just goes flying. And I don't remember if it came back for a second round. I think it learned its lesson.
He sulked a little bit.
Yeah.
But then he chased after the other rooster.
Yeah, I think he didn't try and go for my uncle again. But like we could tell that he was definitely like
he was hovering,
planning round 2 if my uncle was not, watching. Of course, me not wanting to get packed on a vacation, I obviously was like keeping an eye on the thing. And so it came for us. But effectively, my uncle, as we were leaving, was like, yeah, I think we're gonna eat him. And then like a couple days later, I think we were still in the area, but we might have not been within easy driving distance. But yeah, effectively, he was talking to my dad on the phone, and he's like, yep, ate Brutus. My dad just, told us about that. And like, realistically, it was absolutely a chicken to have been eaten, as opposed to kept around for any goddamn reason. But just, the casualness of both.
Oh, that's farm
chicken kicking, and yeah. I don't think I could ever do it. I mean, obviously, if I needed to survive.
It makes me wonder sometimes. You know how easy it is to purchase meat from a store and disassociate it from the animal that they're originally from. And then when met with those animals in real life as, living creatures that you're interacting with.
Yeah.
It's definitely the kind of thing that makes me consider cutting down on meat or maybe even forfeiting it entirely. But just grown up with it for so long and it tastes good, but I know that ultimately there are probably better practices for... And I know that you want to have the genetically engineered meat.
I like the idea of genetically engineered meat. And I'm fine with cows and stuff being farmed still for both milk and meat. If only because, hey... We are done. If only because, like, if we weren't...
At the same time, so much of that meat is going towards...
wasted things.
Pet food and other stuff, and...
Okay, so where's all those fish that I just caught? Oh, I did have an extra large bouillon sitting around.
I do feel bad for pigs.
Because I kind of do. I feel less bad.
The only thing they provide is their meat, which is... something that always stuck with me from the Babe movie.
I see. I have to sell my fish to this person. There we go. Go for fish. How much money did I rack up while I was here? Well, I don't think we're going to be hurting for money for a while. That's a lot of bullheads. Oh, still have more. Did I already sell the... I did already sell the good ones. Wow, Airmid Gobies do not sell for anything. So be it.
I do wonder...
a pretty good haul.
Why goat milk hasn't been used more often. It's probably because it has a more musky flavor to it. But I do wonder when it comes to grass and feed, room and space for operation and stuff, if there isn't a benefit to, say, having goats.
Well, I know
the primary milk
buffaloes specifically.
Oh, buffalo
and beefaloes are both like really good for the
So then what's wrong with the traditional cow?
They're not designed. I think they're just kind of inefficient creatures, whereas buffaloes are not.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Right, I was going to turn options back on. I'd rather eat hunted meat than farmed meat. I see, I'm fine with free-range stuff. I just don't like factory farms. Like, I'd be fine with beef being stupid expensive.
It's really sad when you see the documentaries on factory farms.
It's horrifying. But, like, I'd be perfectly fine with meat costing, like, you know, $30 a pound or something like that. And knowing that these animals had really good lives, beforehand. And then, like, for the most part, being relatively vegetarian.